Picture a bustling 18th-century Scottish marketplace, Edinburgh in full swing. Merchants shout over the clatter, buyers haggle, and somewhere nearby, Adam Smith writes quietly, piecing together a radical idea. What if all this noise, the trade, the bargaining, the prices, followed an invisible hand guiding society's wealth? That question unravels a secret behind how nations grow rich, and it's a story that still shapes your wallet today. Smith's infamous phrase sparks curiosity, but what does this invisible hand actually do? Let's dive into the story behind this metaphor and why it's a game changer for understanding economies. In a glove workshop in the 1770s, Smith watches dozens of craftsmen each working on a tiny part of a pin's creation, from wire drawing to packaging. No single person makes the whole pin. Instead, dividing labor boosts output massively. This everyday scene sparked the insight that specialization is key to increasing a nation's wealth. Smith argues that when each craftsman pursues their own profit, it's not chaos but order emerging. Like an invisible hand, self-interest nudges people to produce what others want without needing a king's decree. Imagine a busy street where every vendor shouts offers. Their goal isn't public good but profit, yet the crowd ends up with what it needs. Crucially, supply and demand act like a natural thermostat. If pins are scarce and prices rise, other makers enter the market. If pins flood the market, prices drop, halting further production. This unseen mechanism efficiently coordinates countless individual actions, transforming potential chaos into a harmonic, wealth-building dance. Smith didn't just spot split tasks. He explained why dividing labor turns a whole economy into a growth engine. Let's unpack the magic in how breaking jobs down creates both prosperity and progress. In early Scottish breweries, Smith records how production breaks down into precise steps: malting, brewing, fermenting, packaging. Brewers don't just make ale faster, they perfect each phase, boosting both quantity and quality. This specialization turns cottage craft into an early industrial powerhouse, showing how dividing labor in any field multiplies wealth. The real power: repetition breeds expertise, like a musician playing scales until fingers fly on the strings. Workers doing one task develop sharper skills and incredible speed while saving mental energy. This efficiency is the engine of economic growth, proving that narrowly focused work delivers exponential returns. And here's the kicker: deeper skill breeds creativity. Experts spot new techniques and shortcuts others miss. From new brewing methods to crafting finer pinheads, specialization kicks off waves of innovation. So the division of labor isn't just about speed, it's the secret sauce behind progress. Smith wasn't just a money guy, he saw economy and ethics intertwined. What keeps markets honest? How does capital flow? This section cracks Smith's view on money, trust, and society's deep engine. Smith details banks in London pumping funds into new ventures, from coal mines to shipyards. This capital flow is the bloodstream of the economy, enabling businesses to expand rapidly. It's a fascinating early story of how money markets power entire industries, creating jobs and spurring national wealth. Yet money isn't enough. Smith believed people's sense of right and wrong, their moral sentiments, keeps markets going. Without trust and fairness, merchants wouldn't deal with each other and the invisible hand would fumble. It's like a poker game where players fold if rules aren't fair. Ethics undergird the whole economic dance. Finally, government's role is subtle but crucial. Smith champions free markets but warns against monopolies, corrupt officials, and short-sighted laws. The state must protect property, enforce contracts, and invest in public goods. This balancing act keeps capitalism productive and just, preventing collapse into greed or chaos. Remember that busy Scottish market where Smith first saw an invisible hand? It wasn't just hype, it's the lens to see your own economy clearly. Next time you buy a coffee or scroll your investment app, notice that division of labor, trust, and capital all moving in sync. Try this. Next week, observe one product you use, trace who made it and how specialization shaped it. You'll see Smith's ideas coming alive. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.